Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do in a relationship is not to hold on, but to let go. I know that sounds crazy, but hear me out. See, men are wired a certain way. We chase, we pursue, and the moment we think we've got it all figured out, we start getting comfortable. But when a woman makes a decision to step back, to remove herself from the equation, that's when the game changes. Ladies and gentlemen, sometimes the strongest move you can make in life is the one that scares you the most, and that's letting go. People often think holding on is a sign of strength, but I'm here to tell you there's nothing stronger than a person who can release something they care about because they know it's no longer serving them. Especially when it comes to relationships, letting go is a power move most folks don't even realize they have. When a woman lets a man go, she's not doing it because she doesn't care. She's doing it because she cares about herself more. And that right there is a level of strength that makes any man stop and think. See, most men are used to women sticking around, fighting for the relationship no matter what, putting up with things they shouldn't. And the moment you decide to change that pattern, the moment you say enough is enough, that man is going to feel it. He might not admit it right away, but deep down, he knows something powerful just happened. Because you didn't just lose your patience, you took your power back. And power is attractive. Now, I want to make something clear. Letting go doesn't mean you're weak. It doesn't mean you failed. It doesn't mean you gave up. No, letting go means you've recognized your worth and you're no longer willing to settle for less than you deserve. That's not giving up. That's leveling up. That's saying, I know my value, and if you can't see it, I'm not going to keep proving it to you. That's the kind of decision that turns heads and opens eyes. When a woman walks away with grace, not with bitterness or revenge, but with calm confidence, a man notices. He notices because it's not what he's used to. Most people leave a relationship making noise, throwing accusations, causing drama. But strength is quiet. It doesn't have to announce itself. You just leave and you let your absence speak louder than your words ever could. That silence becomes deafening. That space you leave behind, it starts to weigh on him. And here's the thing about men. We don't like losing something we thought we had forever. We don't like realizing too late that what we had was rare. When you let him go without trying to force him to stay, you create a moment of clarity for him. He starts to see you differently. He starts to replay all the moments he took for granted. That confidence you showed in letting go, that's the part that hits the hardest. Because now he knows you didn't need him, you chose him. And when you let him go, it proves you can choose yourself just as easily. This kind of strength is unforgettable. Long after you've moved on, long after you've stopped thinking about him, he's still thinking about you. He's thinking about how you didn't beg, you didn't plead, you didn't lower your standards to keep him, you just walked away. That's the type of woman a man will compare everyone else to, because that kind of strength is rare. And rare things are valuable. You have to understand, strength in letting go isn't about trying to make someone chase you. It's about standing firm in your self-respect. It's about saying, I refuse to stay where I am not valued. And when you do that, You're teaching him a lesson without even trying. You're showing him that love isn't about possession, it's about appreciation. And if he can't appreciate you when you're there, he's going to learn to appreciate you when you're gone. That's why letting go is never weakness. It's the ultimate act of strength. It's proof that you have the courage to protect your peace, your dignity, and your future. And that courage will always make you unforgettable. Men have a natural instinct to pursue, to chase, to conquer. It's wired into them. When something is easily available, when it doesn't challenge them, they tend to take it for granted. But when a woman shows that she cannot be controlled, when she sets her boundaries and stands firm in her self-worth, she becomes a mystery that a man can't easily solve. That's what pulls him in deeper. That's what makes him keep thinking about her long after she's gone. When a woman is unpredictable in the sense that she's not dependent on a man's attention, it forces him to pay attention. She's not glued to her phone waiting for his message. She's not rearranging her life to fit his schedule. She's not bending over backwards to make him happy while neglecting herself. Instead, she has her own life, her own goals, her own priorities. And that's something a man can't fully control. It keeps him on his toes because he never feels like he's completely figured her out. Control gives people a sense of security, but it also makes them complacent. When a man feels like he completely has a woman, like there's no risk of losing her, no matter how he treats her, his effort starts to fade. That's when the relationship becomes one-sided. But when a woman maintains her independence, when she makes it clear she chooses to be with him, but doesn't need him to complete her, it shifts the balance. Now he's the one working to keep her interest. A woman who can't be controlled commands respect. She has her own mind, her own standards, and her own way of living. She doesn't wait for a man to lead her every step. She leads herself. And the truth is, this both challenges and excites a man. Deep down, he knows he can't just give the bare minimum and expect her to stay. He has to step up because she's not afraid to walk away if the energy isn't mutual. Men are competitive by nature. They enjoy the chase, but more than that, they value what they have to work for. If something comes too easily, it doesn't hold the same weight. That's why a woman who keeps her sense of self, who doesn't just merge her whole world into his, stands out. She's not playing games. She's simply living with standards. And when a man can't predict every move she's going to make, when he doesn't feel like he's in complete control of her emotions, he stays engaged. There is also a certain type of attraction that comes from mystery. When a man doesn't know exactly what you're thinking all the time, when he can't control how you feel, he's left wondering. Wondering leads to curiosity, and curiosity leads to attention. That's how he starts noticing all the little things about you he might have overlooked before. It's not manipulation. It's simply refusing to hand over the keys to your happiness to someone else. When you live this way, you're sending a silent but powerful message. You are your own person first. That makes you unpredictable in the best way. A man realizes he can't just rely on comfort or routine to keep you. He has to keep showing up, keep giving effort, keep trying to understand you. That's why he falls harder, because you're not an open book that he can skim through once and toss aside. You're a story with depth, layers, and chapters he hasn't read yet. A man may not admit it out loud, but he respects the woman he can't fully control. She challenges him to grow, to be more present, to appreciate her more. She forces him to stay engaged because he knows her loyalty is valuable but not blind. She won't stay just because of history or attachment. She stays when she's respected, loved, and valued. And that uncertainty keeps him invested, keeps him aware, and ultimately makes him fall harder. Absence has a way of speaking louder than any words ever could. When you're around someone all the time, it's easy for them to start seeing your presence as normal, as something that will always be there no matter what. But the moment you step back, the moment you remove yourself from the daily routine of his life, something shifts. That quiet space you leave behind becomes noticeable, and it makes him think in ways he never did before. He starts to evaluate what you brought into his life, what he lost, and whether he truly understood your value when you were there. When you are constantly available, constantly giving, constantly showing up, it's human nature for people to stop noticing the effort you put in. They start thinking your kindness, your attention, your support are just part of the background, like they're owed or guaranteed. But absence strips away that comfort. Suddenly, the conversations he's used to having aren't there. The energy you brought into the room is missing. The encouragement, the little jokes, the care, it's all gone. That silence becomes a mirror. And in that mirror, he sees how much you mattered. Men often need that space to truly recognize what someone means to them. It's not because they're unfeeling, but because sometimes they're not paying close enough attention until something shakes them. Your absence is that shake. It forces him to reflect on what life feels like without you in it every day. And more often than not, that's when reality hits. Life feels emptier, duller, and less fulfilling without you. There's something